I'm so excited for this. Hey, hey, hey. All right. So we are going to get into it. Spinal mobility, back flexibility. Holy freaking shit. I am so pumped to bring this to you. Um, so I'm Cassandra Ann Glass, an intuitive wellness coach, a medicine movement woman, and cosmic body calibrator with Beyond Obstacles, my global company. So today I'm going to take you through a series or a routine. So a series of spinal movements and a back flexibility routine. This can be done once a week, depending on your flexibility level, depending on your what is that? Depending on your state of being, your needs, and development, and your development. So flexibility, first of all, let's talk about a little bit of safety here. I'm going to guide you through a complete spinal mobility warm-up. So this first section is crucial and really imperative to not only the depth and the results that you're going to get, but the safety of moving into your flexibility training. So flexibility is to be done when you are warmed up and stretched. Then you get to go into your flexibility training. So what we're really doing is we are extending past our current range of motion. So stretching brings you to the end range of motion that is available to you. And then you learn to stay safe and stable at that end range. Mobility brings you to that range. And then you strengthen that range so that you have full control in that end range of motion. So this is where we get to bridge the gap between any injuries occurring. And then flexibility takes you beyond that into new ranges, new territory, new extremes to really showcase your body that there is more than just what's currently available to it. And then we translate that into any aspect in our life, and we allow our energy and the sensations that come over our body during this practice to expand as well. So we're also giving ourselves, as our soul essence, we're giving ourselves more range, more availability to really take up these new territories, to really step into these new territories, find safety in these new territories, and allow the energy to flow. So today we're working through the spinal column in order for full life force and divine downloads to be received and transferred through the body and dispersed outward into all of your energy centers. So this is going to be, it's going to be incredible. Like, this is one of my favorite ways to train the body, tap into our energy, and really connect our brain and our body and the sensations and the signals. And so we are going to really work on refinement, steady pace, slowness, smoothness, articulation, and breath. So all of these really build and create the foundation for speed and flow to happen. So we want to really be open to receive this flow, right? So we are going to be very meticulous over the little aspects to the spinal column and the joints and the little facets that make up our physical body, and really get into each little pinpoint there, hang out there, know your end ranges, get really comfortable in your own self. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, so make sure that you have water. So we want to really stay hydrated in order to support the nervous system and extending beyond these ranges. So any like physical external tool that we can really drop into the body, such as water. There's so many different components to why we want to be staying hydrated during movement. But for what right now is coming through for me is the external tool of, okay, this is, this is safe. We're bringing lubrication. That's it. That's what it is. Like more lubrication to the joints, to the soft tissues, and to the internal body systems for us to get a little bit more access. So we're going to be releasing quite a bit. So if you want a journal and a pen with you as well, I always find that it is the best time for self-exploration, realizations, creation during movement practices. When we are going into tapping into new territories as well, you might drop into new layers of yourself, releasing layers of yourself. So just having a pen and paper there to quickly jot note, and then you can go back to it post session, post practice. All right. So here we go. We're going to begin. We're going to begin with our head. So we're going to do cervical, thoracic, and then lumbar mobility. And we're going to go into some stretching and deep stretching. So feet, we're going to go toes facing forward, hip width apart. And first, I just want you to shift your weight onto one foot and back again. So completely to one side. So you're feeling the weight into the outside of your foot, passing through center, and then completely to the other side. So you can tell like my hip is right over top of the outside of my foot, and I'm feeling the pressure there, breathing in on transition. Again, going as far as I can, watching that I'm not just dipping and I'm not like just hanging around, pushing my hip out. It's just a shift. Okay, so it's a shift in the body weight. We're going to find our center in about 3, 2, 1, and come back to center. So you can kind of start to slowly shift in. So making your shifts a little smaller. Until you find that center ground where you are completely neutral. You can almost feel and sense the full range of ability over to your right, full range of ability over to your left. We are now just going to give ourselves that space and that consciousness about how much room we really do have to move. Okay, so feel into the space that you just took up from side to side. And now we're going to do that forward and back. So bringing your body weight forward onto your toes. So your toes need to dig into the ground. And then taking it back until your heels, and you'll feel your thighs kind of firing up as well, like holding you. Forward. My heels are kind of lifted up off the ground because I'm onto my toes. Feeling the thighs, but also kind of feeling my glutes activate too. Forward. Woo-hoo. And so again, same thing. It's not the hips going forward and back. We're keeping this nice plank position. Forward. And in 5, 4, 3. And these stumbles are great, so good because you're stumbling, but you didn't fall. So register that every time and tell yourself what just happened. Like, be the narrator. Whoop, I stumbled. Whoop, I didn't fall. Oop, I stumbled. Oop, I didn't fall. Carry on, continue as though we would moving forward in any other situation. So we're slowing down. We're finding that neutral position between heel and toe. So this might even change up where you have been placing your body weight. Sometimes we're so far back into our heels. Sometimes we're so far forward without really knowing and registering it. And that's incredibly symbolic on an energetic state of, are we leaning in? Are we leaning out? Where are we in our equilibrium state, like in our full circumference? So now just again, finding that real center, that neutral between left and right, between forward and back. And I'm feeling some knees really beginning to speak. So what we're going to do here is we're going to actually just bring some, because of the bridge, the legs are at the base. So when we go into back bridges, we need to know like how our hips are holding us and how our lower body is holding us and supporting us. So we're going to keep our feet facing forward and our big toe on the ground, outside foot on the surface, and heels on the ground. So what you're doing here is you're kind of activating the arches and pulling up the middle arch. From there, we're going to go a little soft knee bend. And right here at the hips, think about like a ball and socket, and you're going to roll that outward. Relax. Roll it outward. Relax. Roll it outward. And I bet you didn't even know that you might have been concaving in the knees, right? Knees falling inward, arches inward, and your weight and gravity and everything that you're holding and supporting is being really compressed downward. So it's no wonder why the knees might be achy, or you're feeling unsteady, uncertain, not really secure in your movements. So again, open. You'll kind of feel you will feel your glutes activate. Relax. 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold this. I'm gonna start to straighten out a little bit. Oh, you can feel your inner thighs activate there too. Just relax the muscles and shake it out. All right. I keep feeling like I'm stepping on something here, and like there is a crease in the floor, so maybe that's it. So now we are in our center. We're in the center of our universe. Do we want, you know what, I'm kind of feeling like circles, really creating that circumference around. So shifting to the side, coming forward over the toes, other side, back to the heel. So now we're connecting this full energy circuit that we have created, surrounding ourselves. Whew. We're really claiming and owning this space as ours. And this is our personal space. Okay, so this is your personal bubble. And then you get to expand beyond that, and you get to grow that. So this is like your core, other direction, your core circumference, because we have the rest of our body, that can reach. So we're going to get into that. Ooh, la, 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 la. 2 more. So I just want to say that my family is out right now shopping. And I don't know what time they're coming home. They are aware that I am recording a video, but I'm in the garage. We don't park in our garage, but we use our garage to come in and out. So the garage door may or may not open. We may or may not have visitors and guests. So I'm just going to say that now. One, for my own sanity and just okay, this might happen. Everything is cool. But it also may not either. So I don't want to be thrown off for if it does. And I don't want to throw you guys off for if it does. It will just be a thing that may or may not happen. But now we are aware. So let's get back into this. So we have just created and claimed our core circumference. And now we have an awareness of our center. So let's begin with the top of our head. And we are going to do very similar, very, very similar movements with each part of your spine. So taking your head and shifting it to the right and then to the left. I love this. I love teaching this. I love showcasing this. I feel like a character from the Men in Black. And I honestly, when I taught at the gym, it was so comical. We had so much fun, because this is not a common movement that you do. If you have gone to the gym and you have begun your workout with this movement, please fucking let me know and let's be best friends. And slowly stop in the center. We're going to come back to that again. So these, for the spinal articulation, we're going to pay a lot of attention to, because now what we're doing is we are activating the central nervous system. We are opening up the joints, and we are unlocking and unbinding, unlocking what's bound in the soft tissues of these particular areas. So one, it can get really sensitive. Two, there is so much information stored. So it's not just about doing this, bum, 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 and then going into it. It's how the fuck am I feeling? Where the fuck am I holding tension? Am I ready to release this? What does this mean to me? How many aspects of myself are here? Really taking the time, slowing the fuck down to listen and receive the information from your own body. We're doing this for there's so many benefits to this work. And it can be fun and intriguing, and we get to, I don't think I need to go into all the benefits, but just the fact of moving this alone helps to support the word tonic is coming up. I don't think that's the word that I want, but we get to release the tension, which helps you feel relieved. But the visual, right? We are playing with the your body's appearance. Okay, let's just go there. So I think that that's not coming through because that's not the point of this. So, well, I guess it is the point, but I mean, we're not here to look good. We're here to fucking feel good, tap into ourselves, and move forward in life. So all of that other look good, feel like look good is the byproduct. I think that's what I'm trying to really say here. It's like when we come into the gym, when we come into movement practices such as these, and we really break down the refinement, like, have you ever looked at somebody's muscle structure and their back and their neck and their chin and just this area and gone like, wow, like that's toned, that's sculpted, that looks sleek, that looks, you know, like the tonic keeps coming up. I need to Google tonic. But that is created through the refinement of this work. Like that is the byproduct of it. So we don't have to try to look a certain way. We get to just move, learn about ourselves, tap into ourselves, receive codes, raise our frequency. And then what happens is our body responds to all of that. Then the physical body, it just shape shifts into the frequency and the manner and the being of who you are and how you care for yourself. So I think that's what I'm just trying to really bring home, because that clearly that was something in my throat really needed to be expressed, So we've done left to right. Let's go forward and back. Okay. So holding your chest, because we don't want the rest of our body to move, push your chin out and bring your chin in. Out and in. It's like out, reach it, reach. And then tuck, tuck, tuck. 2 more. Go again. And then just go back and forth. You can feel the muscles where I'm beginning to work. And slow it down. Yeah, I can really feel like right hairline behind the ear, under the jaw, really beginning to work. Okay, so a little bit more active here. We're going to hold it out to the side. And what you're going to do is you're going to hold and continue to try to put your ear all the way over and without any of this. Feel the muscles working. Breathing at the end range. Slowly release, return, other side. Woo, a little bit more tension here. I feel like I am a bit more restricted going to the left. Breathing at the end range. And bring it back to center. Let's do it again. You'll feel things start to break up. The release will go upward and downward into your scalp and down into your shoulders. And relax. Good. Back and forth again. Really reaching side to side. You might feel like you have a bit more freedom. You might kind of feel some things breaking up. And back to center. Forward and back. Hold it out. Tuck it in. Trying to really get that chin like down to the collarbone. Forward. Lift the chin. and forward and back. 3, 2, 1. Just like we did with our whole body weight, we're going to do a circumference. So out to the side, roll it forward, roll it to the side, take it back. Side, forward, side, back, forward. And slow it down. Other way. Ooh. Continue trying to look forward. I just kind of rotated my head a bit. So we don't want to be looking around the room. Okay, we want to stay looking forward. So we do this in a mirror. It's like you're trying to keep your eye gaze. And center. All right, I'm gonna take off my sweater now. Oh no. Can you hear when that falls down? I don't know. I'm not sure you can. Okay. So we're not done yet. We want to open up the space from our sternum and the fascia that's right in front of our neck. So what we're going to do for this is I like to just put my fingertips right on my sternum, your breastbone. We're going to go bottom lip over top lip. Like this. And you're going to go chin to ceiling. You're going to bring it back. You can feel that stretch, eh? Continue. And it might feel a little bit like deeper levels of stretching, like different layers of tissues are stretching, and they are. We're tapping into our fascia as opposed to the muscle. So the muscle has a sensation and the fascia has a sensation. And the tendons and the ligaments have a sensation. So if you're feeling like it's kind of behind the skin, it's a little electric, kind of feels like cobwebby, we're tapping into the fascia, which holds a hell of a lot of information and stores a lot of like nervousness, like nerves, nervous energy. That's what I was going for. So up. And in. And I'm just like replacing my fingers each time. And as we're going up, we want to check in that, again, this is just the warm up. So we're just going chin to ceiling. We're not getting our hips and our back into this. Like we're not going like this, chin to ceiling, holding in your center, in your neutral, chin to ceiling. So it's a lift action, lift, okay? So what I want you to do now is draw a rainbow from shoulder to shoulder using your chin. So we'll start up. 1, 2, 3, lifting in this big rainbow, big arc. So your head's not falling back, the chin is lifting. Two more. Back to center. and back. So because we go so far in extension, we need to bring flexion in. So let's flex, or that's not flex, what is this? Let's weave our fingers together. Base of your skull. Breathe in and just tilt your chin to chest. Standing up tall, so we're feeling it really opening up and beginning to help us open up the upper back between the shoulder blades. Full deep breaths, 2 more. You can begin to start curling the upper back, 2 more breaths. We're feeling it beginning to open the low back now, so we will get there. So let's roll up. We're working our way down. Sometimes I do full spinal rolls to begin with, but today I'm being led to really just like break it down. Break it down now. Okay. Let's move into the rib cage. Okay, so again, very similar. We're going to break it up by owning the side to side, forward and back, go into our circles. So the key with this, what you can do is get into that external hip. So your hips stay steady. It kind of looks like I'm riding a cowboy. I'm riding a cowboy. How about I'm riding a horse? So if I could, I guess I can, but I could put my hands out to side to side, and like reach. The wall is kind of in my way to the one side, but excuse me. This is so great. This really gets that like digestion working. Bubbles, burps, things might begin to come up. It's like you are wringing out your internal organs, your internal system, anything that's stuck, stagnant, air, gases that need to be released. So let's go forward and back. So this is the rib cage being pushed forward and tucked back. Breathing in on the out or the forward, and letting it all go, pushing it out. One more. Okay. Giving into the circles, or getting into them. This is when I start to really funk up my words. Those full ranges, wherever you are at, just feel those full ranges. Just thanking the body for taking you there, for showing you the way. The direction. We're beginning to really bring our awareness inward into our core a little bit more. 2 more. Self-adjustments, love them. If you're feeling pops, cracks, and they don't come with like sharp, send you to the floor pain, like brilliant, like brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. It's brilliant, really. Like self adjustments, anytime there's pops, cracks, one, it's just an air bubble out of your way. Now it's gone. Now you have more space for lubrication to come in. So then maybe like drinking some water would be really good for that too. But anytime it's like, you did that for yourself. You are your healer. You are your provider. You get to, and sometimes it's just about like coming into these smaller movements and like, okay, more restriction here, less over here. Let's pay more attention on this side. It's not about five ways on this way, 5 ways on that way. It's like, where are you holding tension? Where are you holding stress? Lean into that, release that. Maybe it takes double the amount of work. Maybe there needs to be 10 more breaths over here, 10 more rotations over here, and only 5 on here. Because we don't want to be rising or increasing our abilities that are off level. We want to bring our weaknesses and our stiffnesses and our where we're feeling stuck and stagnant. We want to really give some like work to it. We want to work that shit out. So then we get to rise powerfully and strongly in alignment, right? But if you're always constantly working on this balance, what if you're not in balance to begin with, but yet you're balancing it out? And that is, I think, okay, I wasn't expecting all of these like messages to come through, but here we are. So when you are thinking balance, bring balance to your life and other aspects, you know, your body can teach you so much. Your movement, the way you move, teaches you so much. So about balance, where are you? I want you to journal this down quickly and just where are you trying to find balance in your life, and where are you not finding balance in your life, and you're constantly searching for balance. So I see people out there constantly searching for balance where they're not focusing on how to get into balance. They're not focusing that their family life and their business, like all they want is balance. But it's like, what if, like by giving the same amount of attention, so I'm going to do this really quickly. So much attention on business, this much attention on business, this much attention on family. Okay. I speak from past experience. So if you are continuously trying to find and create balance by giving the same amount of energy to this and the same amount of energy to this, you're constantly going to have this ratio rising. So you might be seeing success in business and you might be seeing progress in family life, but you're still not feeling balanced. You're constantly like, you're like, but I'm in my business and I'm in my family. Well, what is the ratio and where is your ratio? Where do you as an individual feel balanced? Because maybe this is your balance, and somewhere else, you know, somewhere else balances the scales for you. Maybe your sex life balances those scales for you. Who fucking knows? But like tuning to the body, it's like, are you more stiff on the right side? What is locked in the right side? Because what's locked in the right side of your body might be exactly what will unlock this stagnant energy in your family life in order for you to rise in your family life. And then watch, business doesn't move, but your family life, you just unlocked yourself, and now you're at even ground. Now when you give the same amount of energy to each, they both rise together, and you feel balanced now. So just take that food for thought, open up your mind, open up your body. How do you relate to balance, and what the fuck does it actually mean? Okay, so now when we're working with the body, coming back to the body, back to the movement practice, and allowing it to be the best teacher, the number one teacher for us. And don't get hung up on like same rep, same side. that can go. Okay. I think my family just came home. Give me a moment. Okay, I don't know how to pause the recording on a phone. So that's fun. That happened. They came home. Baby was still sleeping, so they went to go out again and wash the car. So this is great. We should be done before they return. All right, friends. So where were we? We just talked about balance. We just talked about left and right. We did the full circles here. So we're going to do our forward folds just to get more into the low back. We'll do our hips, and then we're going to get into the next level, the phase 2 of like the real juicy stuff. Okay. Hands behind your head. Start with your breath. Tuck your chin. Every breath, you're going to curl and round down, really thinking about the articulation of your spine, really working every breath, like every link is getting moved through the spine. Oh, just doing that alone, like do it in the morning. Okay, ready? Feels a lot more open. There's not as much sensations happening, so let's keep going a little lower and see what happens. There's the sensations right at that low back. Keep going. Oh, yes. Keep going a little bit more. Give yourself a knee bend. 3, 2. Can you get your elbows to your knees? And you don't have to. It's just an invitation, just a way to see any kind of progress from now until the future. Roll it up. Oh, 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 oh. Oh yeah, we are really moving some things through the system. So this is it's not an injury by any means, but it's definitely a past discrepancy, if you may, that presented itself a few years ago when contracting in an overflex position, and it it's almost like a cramp. It kind of feels like an organ is popping out. I experienced it first, I think, in my flexibility teacher training years ago, or was it my kettlebell training? Anywho, that's besides the point. It's just really fascinating that it presented itself today. So that is something that I will take with me to kind of drop into a little bit more how it wants to be released, how it wants to be moved, what the attention is. I went to the doctors, I had ultrasounds, there's no hernia, there's nothing. It was a mothers get that. And I'm like, I don't think you know me. Like I that's not something that I will just be like, oh, okay, like that's I will not just leave it that as is. Like anything to do with the body, I will figure out the source, the root, the what is it. I definitely know that there is a lot to be presented, right? There's a lot of information that we are just missing out on when we just go, oh, it happens. All right. So anyways, that happened. I'm super excited to get into the back bends because that's going to feel really, really nice. What did we just do? Hips. Let's do a very similar thing here. Okay, a little bit of a knee bend. Because when we're moving our hips, I decide we want to keep our ribs steady. Move them to the side. Move to the side. This is a phenomenal core work, clearly, right? This like piece of my body wanted to fucking pop out. Like, this is extreme core work. And it shows, I think right now what I'm being told is like, there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure within, and the binding is just adding too much pressure. Like, open up, release, more action, more activity, more with the idea of open space, contract, like working with contractions and expansions. And that's the fucking stuff I eat up. Like, you know, if somebody told me that, I'd be like, nom, 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 nom. I'm like, okay, I'll do that, but I will not just sit around and be like, yeah, this is just going to happen. Like, no. And that's the work I like to take you guys through, right? It's not like, oh, I want to take you through the back bends. I want to take you through the back bends so we figure out what else we can work on and how we can like amplify your life and your energy and your well-being, like beyond, beyond the obstacles. I love to throw that in there. So we did side to side. Now it's this one here. It's not a it's not a thrust forward and back. It's a tilt. So we're taking the pubic bone and we're tilting it upward. We're tucking it under. And then your knees might bend. But then if you can do a little bit more neutral knee, what that happens, here, I won't talk right now. Hold on. Let's get into this first. And then pubic bone down, little arch to the low back. Love this. You might feel a band of tension. That's good. We don't want to avoid that. You know, tension, pressure, contraction, it's not a bad thing when you know how to work with it, when you know how to use it, when you allow yourself to be there and utilize it in order to grow and release and expand. And so it doesn't, when we allow it just to be there and we're afraid of the contractions, when we're afraid of the tension, we don't tap into it, and then it just stays there. When it stays there, it creates more and it creates more. And then we get stiffness, then we get joints, then we can't move. And then we literally don't move. We don't make decisions, or we are moving and we are amplifying our business, but our body can't keep up. And so our body begins to grow and it begins to ache, and then we're out of balance. Okay. So tapping into tension, pressure, contractions, so important in order for the bigger picture to really land and for you to feel fluid and ease and strong and malleable and delicious and juicy. Again, I don't have a script. I don't plan anything. It just fucking comes through. So you're welcome. So let's do the tilt and tuck one more time. So what we're going to do here is we're going to tuck it under. I want you to squeeze your bum. Then I want you to straighten your knees out. So the reason we do that is because it's now really working the hip flexors. So we're opening up like in front of our hips. So when our knees are tucked, the muscles are shorter, everything's shorter, and you're like, you can do it. It's free flowing. Love this. So, you need to be able to do this first. Once you have this down, everybody, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold and extend, breathe, relax. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, tuck, hold, extend. It gets easier. This is a staple in my kettlebell training. Hold and extend. And now it's open. Good. Okay. Now we're going to focus on the back. If you have a wall, you know, put your hands out to it. A little bit of a knee bend, tuck. 3, 2, 1. Keep it out. What I want you to do, actually, you can keep a knee bend here. I want you to really work on creating a contraction here. Creating and release it. And then what we're going to do is roll down until you can feel this. Breathe into it. Hold. And bring it up. Let's do that 2 more times. With a knee bend. Go into this, create that contraction. It's like you're squeezing the muscles around your hips, your low back. That band that everyone's like, oh, my low back hurts. Well, I know, babe. What are we going to do about it? What are we going to do? Here we go. Tuck and roll. Ooh. What you can do here with a little like, can you see? Maybe I'll do it this way. What is this? What is this happening? Little wag. So you're really paying more attention onto like the left side stretch and the right side stretch and the left and the right. We're going to do this one more time. Hold 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tuck. Roll it down. And like this little side to side. What is it, like a swivel? What is this? If you have a word for this, let me know. Full breath and you feel that stretch. Opening it right from the hip all the way up to the rib. This goes right into our next body of work, our next phase together. Now I'm just beginning to really reach and twist. Reach and twist. Yes. All right. So forward, side, back, side. Forward, side, back, side. Forward, side, back, side. Smooth it out. This is a tuck and a tilt. Tuck and a tilt. So that's another way. And then just let your whole body kind of explore this for a moment. Where does your body need to move? Where does it need to go? All right. Grab a drink. That is phase 1, mobility training. So again, just to recap, mobility is joints, range of motion in your joints, and specifically building strength and control at the end range of motion. So, sorry, it's control at the end range of motion. Flexibility is strength at your end range of motion. Oh, that's nice. So mobility is joints, flexibility, stretching, muscular. Flexibility takes your muscles, your soft tissues, your ligament and your joints, or ligaments and tendons into account as well. So we want to be really aware of the different sensations that are going to come over you during this next phase. So the first one dropped you into the sensations. Okay, now we have awareness. Now our body knows that we're moving it and we're working at the spinal column. Next, we're going to get a little bit deeper. We're going to do some stretches, bring the muscle mass into it, soft tissues into it. So we're going to invite a little bit more sensation. So we're still warming up. Warm up, phase 2. It's like pre-game. And then we're going to get into the fucking deep, dirty dive. Deep dive. I don't know why I call it dirty. Okay, so this, you do need a wall for it. I could have said that like half an hour ago, but you're going to need a wall for this. So if you're not near a wall, go get near a wall. I also want to pretense that I have been doing this work for years. Okay, I grew up as a competitive dancer. My movement of expertise, if you may, is acro. So it is in flexibility, it is in moving my body. And I have been practicing this for many years. With that being said, I have not been diligence. What is that word? Consistent. I'll just say consistent in my practices either. So my depth, don't try to reach mine. My ranges, don't try to reach mine. Don't compare yourself to me. Follow me. Take my guidance. Listen to the safety cues. Listen to your body, your sensations, and your ranges. I will be doing the same for myself. Okay. I am trying to also increase my range of motion, increase my expansion, tap in. I'm working on being able to work with higher sensations, really allow myself to be steady and safe in more, like I'm really working on building my capacity for myself, which comes with really intense sensations. So if you haven't done this work before and you're still learning on what are these sensations, listen to that and just go there and just meet yourself there, right? So we can be doing the same movement practice, but with different intentions, and that will give us different results, but it's all moving us forward and where we're at. So that's what I love about this work is we could be doing the same thing, but we're receiving it differently. And we're attuning to our own information and our own path and our own journey. So with that being said, like listen to your body, listen to your ranges. Don't feel, this is it. Okay. I literally just said don't feel, and that is the complete opposite of what I want you to do. I want you to feel so much. I want you to feel everything. I want it to all come to the surface. That is the point. Here it is. Journal anytime you feel less than, competitive, anything that comes up, any thought. I have been doing this work for many, many years. I know exactly the thoughts that come up. I want to be like her. I'm not as good as her. I suck. I wish I was better. This hurts. Those are the most beautiful That is the most beautiful information that I've ever, if you are willing to listen to that and put it on paper, you're ahead of the game. That is the work, my friend. Those stories, that's the weight you're carrying. That's what's trapped in your joints. That's what's in your fucking body. That's what you get to release and restore using these practices, using the guidance. I am supposed to be here and showcase to you it's possible. You are not supposed to be at any certain level. So that can all be gone. And if it's there, it's coming up for that reason. It's coming up to be released. It's coming up to be witnessed. And that is the work I do with my clients. That is the work that when you're done this, if you want to carry on and if you want to clear this and if you want to understand this and if you want to use these practices in this manner, reach out to me, because that is the most juiciest work that can be done with your body and with yourself and with your life. Okay, so have your notebook there and pay attention to what's coming up. Pay attention to how you feel. It's not about not feeling. It's like letting it feel, but be unattached to it, right? Detach from them and just let them come up so they can just flow. The idea is that this energy is just flowing through, and we don't know what kind of energy is going to come up. We don't know what kind of emotions, but this is why we're here. All right. So you are going to be an arm width away from the wall, facing outward, toes forward, feet hip width apart. We're going to be doing transverse movements to really warm up our spine. So we're going to be going in these full ranges. So arms out in front of you. I'm going to start with my right. So I'm opening it up, hand above your shoulder height. So you want to be able to rotate the fingers inward until they go down. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit of work on your shoulders here. So that alone, and then reach for the wall. Around, tap the wall, and reach. It's like now you can push your hips forward, chest to the ceiling. Feel like that armpit here, this little rotation with that chest, really trying to get it up towards the ceiling. You know what, you can do this too. You can just do fingers. You don't have to go palm. Fingers. Let's find where you need to be. Just reaching back. That's all we're doing right now. Looking up towards this back hand. And let's go the other direction. Fingers, you just practice rotating the hand. Practice rotating the hand in and down. Whenever you feel that stretch, whenever you feel like that is where you can go, add that exhale. That's communicating to the body. This is where we want to be. We're safe. Oh. Sometimes my shoulder gets stuck. Reaching back. All right. We're going to be moving a little bit quicker now. So, or quickly between movements. So now when we go around, we're going to take both hands. We're going to reach, try to get our chest to the ceiling. See if we can just tap the wall and return back. Coming around, hand to the wall, rotate, chest to ceiling, tap, and return. Let's do 3 more. One. Think about lifting the chin instead of dropping the head. 2. And yes, there may be some tension in the back, but like we are adding a compression. I think 1 more. So this is where we want to lengthen and reach. And back in. Roll it forward. You'll feel that low back. That's awesome, awesome, awesome. Wagging those hips. And other side. Arms out. Rotate. And reach. Rotate it back. 5 in total. And again, if you are doing this afterwards on your own and you're feeling like one side might just need a little bit more, then you are open to practicing and doing that. Like sometimes, for instance, this shoulder for myself is a little bit more trapped. So I do a little bit more shoulder work specific to these. And the higher your hand is, the easier it is to rotate. The lower it is, the harder it's to get in. The more compressed you'll be. And roll down. Feel that back. That's good. That's good. Any fears that are coming up, like, well, I'm going to break myself, I'm going to break my body. Just know you're doing this for your body. So it can hold you, it can support you. So it can bend and not break. Those thoughts, those fears, those worries, they are what's keeping your body trapped. They are what's keeping you stiff and still and stagnant because you're afraid to move, and it doesn't have to be that way. So give yourself a little compassion, a little bit of grace. Sink into this. Oh, and show yourself how safe it can be to move and to bend, and so we don't break, right? Okay. So now we're going to do a little baby back bend. So make sure you are an arm width away from the wall. We're going to go arms straight up. You're going to lift your shoulders all the way up to the bottoms of your ears. Okay, squeeze your bum. You're going to flex your palms up towards the wall. Look towards your hands. Lengthen, squeeze your bum, chin the ceiling, and then you're going to push your hips forward. hips, ribs, and hands. So when we go and we're going to do this to the wall. When we tap the wall, we want to go hands, chest, ribs, hips, ribs, chest, hands. So again, we're working through that spinal column, that articulation. Okay, so we're adding in the ability to flow, and we're creating strength. So here we go. Reach up. Tap. And up. 5 in total. Roll it down. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm just gonna stay down here. I'm gonna reach side to side. And you may have noticed for yourself that each rep, you may have been able to go a little bit deeper. Or maybe it wasn't about the depth, but it was about the awareness. Maybe you had an heightened awareness. Maybe you were a little bit less afraid each time that you went back. Maybe, right? So just recognize that throughout the reps, your allowance, your trust is rising. So what we're going to do here is we have showcased the body, the positions that we desire to go into. Now we're going to hang out in them, and we're going to hold them. So we are going to get into that upper back bend. We're going to place our hands on the wall, and we're going to hold it for 3 full breaths. So it's finding, sometimes what happens is we get into a position and we freeze, we're in it, and we're like, and so there's no flow. We've stopped our flow. So you could bring this into an aspect of your life, say in business, you've stepped into this new role, and then you're like, okay, fuck, I'm here. Okay, fuck, I'm here. And because we're not practicing safety, we're not letting it flow through us, we don't know how, we revert back and we go, no, that's not for me. That's not for me. But what we can do in this moment in time is we can teach ourselves to enter new territories, it's uncomfortable. Flexibility is not fucking comfortable. It is the most uncomfortable fucking thing ever, because it's you and your body. You're not squatting and being like, oh, the barbell is heavy, the dumbbell is heavy, the kettlebell is heavy. It's not that. It's a different fucking discomfort, because it's so refined and it's so intimate and it's so sensational, especially the back bends, because we are working the central nervous system. So what we want to do is we want to find a way to relax in the most extreme positions possible, to find flow in the extremes, to find flow and relaxation in the discomfort of our expansion. Okay, so we're going to go into our back bend, and you are going to give me 3 breaths. And this, it might look like this. Okay, so if you're new and if you're fresh to back bends, it's gonna look like this. Or if you haven't practiced in a while, okay? Push away from the wall. Squeeze your bum. Oh, rise up. Oh, and then roll down. And roll down and just be with that chest and belly as much as you can. If this is what it looks like, because then when we bring our chest into our belly, we get a little bit, there's a comfort mechanism to that. There is a reaction of response to, you know, I believe it definitely has to do with like, you know, the central nervous system running through our psoas, and just like that real maternal, not even maternal because it works for any gender, but it is that feel, but like the response is a very humbling, restorative place to be. So take yourself into your extreme, breathe into it, get into it, flow, and then bring yourself back. And then we're going to do it again. And then we're going to do it again. And then we're going to do it again. And then you're going to move from a new place, because now you have a different center. You have a different center with a wider range. Okay. Are you ready? So, do this. You can get into it double hands. You could get into it single hand, however you want to get into it, okay? I think my family's home again. Of course, we're at the very, 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 very end. Here we go. I felt my arms really trying to open away. Oh. After that, you will just be dropped so deep into yourself. That even my chatter stops. Oh, they came through the front door, bless them. Oh my gosh. I just feel so deeply honored and respected in this moment. That is the sweetest thing that they could have done. And just allowing like that alone just to drop into my body and take up space. Let's go again. Now it gets intense. There's almost like this banana wanna. Let's do it. We got this. Tighten up the bum, hands, chest. Push away from the wall. Bend up. Oh, that was really nice. That was really nice, because my hands, I really thought about keeping them in this neutral position. Like it really touched my upper back. And of course, this little bag's like, what the fuck? Motherfucker. I find my chattering really slows down during flexibility, but my swearing really picks up. It's like apparently there's something scientific about swearing during discomfort. It's just such a time to be so expressive. Because we are really unlocking some stuff. It's like, sometimes I just get so emotional. Mm. Working our back, our spine, it's such a support, like the energies that run through it is about the support of life through different stages of your life. And I just want to share with you very quickly before we move into the next back bend, how deeply I've been desiring and working on my relationship with support and being supported and receiving support and being that for myself and just seeing it unfold in all layers of my life and just really being aware and conscious of this flow through me right now and how at peace and at ease and how supportive and like blessed I am that they came through the front door. And so I want you to be able to check in with everything that what have you been working on right before you tapped into today? What was present for you? Invite anything forward that can be a key or a tool for you to continue in that journey, on that path. Is there a detour you are needing to make? Is there, what emotions are ready to be released and restored? And let's go into our next back bend. I'm just really thinking like this is, what do you want to be flowing through you? What life force are you inviting into your body and to be with you on your journey? Let's breathe that in and feel that flowing right through your spinal column. Let's go in. Oh. 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 There's a little extra shaking happening, rumbling in my root. Just welcome it all. So that is the meat of the practice for you today. I'm being shown just to take you into full transverse, just to really get this flowing. So when we work up and down, we've opened it up. Like you are going to be receiving on a whole new level. Your spinal column is in a position it has never been in before, or hasn't been in a long time. And So what we want to do is we want to just really give it a little bit more of a churning. I'm feeling this like real cleansingness kind of wringing out any densities, anything that's left for you that's ready to be just really let go. Right. So this next one is about just cleansing the remaining densities that are staying stuck and stagnant and hanging on. And it's a nice practice too. So when we go into it, maybe you want to go a little bit lower with your hand and just see your availability, or stay up higher and again see your availability. So hand down, rotate, reach, and we're going to go all the way. Ooh. Oh yeah, that was different. 3 one direction, 3 the other direction, and we are complete. Those self adjustments, definitely some being really stuck in the right shoulder blade here, kind of pinchy. So if you're feeling any pinches, what I want you to do is think about lifting and lengthening. So I could either be going up higher or pushing away. Really think about that extension. Okay. So we think about these words, our body knows how to respond. So put these words, download them, move in that direction. Okay, one more. Fluid. A little less pinchy. And forward fold before we do 3 the other direction. And wherever, so this is really key too. This is really key for listening in on your body sensations. So for instance, that band of discomfort on your low back, when you're moving and you feel it, stay there and breathe until it dissipates. It's not about being like, oh, okay, there it is, and then down here it's gone. Like it doesn't mean that the tension, the sensation's gone. It just means that you moved out of it, but it's still there. So this is like bypassing, when we bypass our emotions. And this goes back into like the business role that it was like, we moved up here, you just stayed stuck and stagnant, and you're like, I don't know what to do. I'm not breathing. And then you moved out of it. It's like that opportunity is still there for you. You just have to learn how to be in it, stay in it instead of bypassing it. So use this right here, right now as practice. So moving into the discomfort, into the tension, there it is. And offer it breath. See it lighting up. Feeling it let go. Literally removing it from your system so you can move forward. What if you just couldn't move forward? So it's like, I might have this ability to go here, but what if I didn't until I released this? And I was like, oh, it let me go, and this is gonna feel so much better. And I know I get to stay and I get to claim and have that range and that position and that role. Okay. So we have 3 more, and we're gonna wrap it up. Other hand. Full transverse rotations. All right. I can tell that I'm like staying real safe. So I'm gonna go a little bit deeper. We're at the end. There we go. One more. And again, when you hit that range and you hit that depth, exhale. Yes. Ah, forward fold. Oh. Hmm. So grab a drink. You are complete. You have done amazing. You have reached new heights, new limits, new territories. Yes. And I can feel just like the pride and be proud and be amazed. And like you get to claim this, own this time and time and time again. Oh, hmm. So, ooh, that's a fly. That was a spider. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I want to see if there's one last thing I want to mention. Let's talk about post. Okay, so how you might feel after this and post recovery, kind of what to expect, how to care for yourself, what to do. So flexibility again is quite intense as you just witnessed. And so what you're going to expect, your back is going to increasingly get sore. Because what the body is going to do is it's going to say like, yes, we know that it was safe, however we tapped into new territory. Like it was an extension, it was an expansion. You moved muscles and tissues differently today, so they're going to respond in a way that is going to feel really stiff and stagnant, maybe a little painful. But what we want to do in this moment in time is determine our pain signals. We want to determine and differentiate and discern what the pain is and what it feels like. So everyone's like, it feels it's a good pain, it's a good pain. And so let's go a little bit deeper into that. Like, how do we don't want to just do this and go off blindly and be like, oh, it's a good pain. How can we really sink into this new territory? How can we really like claim this new territory? How can we really become this person and this version of us and move through this emotional experience and this energetic experience that we've just provided for yourself? Like you have just provided yourself so much to work with. Like, don't just move into the next day and be like, oh, my back hurts, my body hurts. Like, really treat yourself to this new experience. Really treat yourself and carry this forward with you. So you can really make some moves, so you can really claim this expansion and you can fucking transform like your life and your body in one fucking go. So extra water, like extra water, internal and external. Put water on your body, take a bath, have a hot tub, drink some extra water. I'm hearing herbal teas, but don't replace herbal teas for fresh water. Like combine the two. Because teas can also be like, it can also be a diuretic. So great benefits, but we also want fresh water. And just like noticing like you're going to whatever you're calling in, whatever you're releasing, it's going to be a little amplified. So if you'd like some support moving through that, message me. I have space for single sessions. Like see if you want to work with me long term, message me to apply, get into programs with me, like find support, whether it's through me or another aligned coach in the area of life that you are really moving through, and just recognize the energy that you just unlocked, and allow yourself to just be in there and receive from that expansion and move from that expansion and get supported at that expansion, take this forward with you. That's really like the biggest thing. That's the biggest message. It's like, take this forward with you, that this gets to be you, and continue to practice this. So if you're new to it, once a week, it is extreme, it is intense. So you want the body to fully recover before you go into it again, like fully recovered. So you're going to feel a little like stiff and painful and achy and delicious for probably 48 hours. Hour 72, it might hit a peak, and then it will completely taper off. So that is a really good way to track like how much you can push, like where is your energetic output and input and management levels, because we never want to hit like full capacity. So we want to be able to work into that. So I would say do it once a week, and just enjoy. Let me know how it goes and what you enjoyed and what you took away from this session. I'm sending all of my love to you.